What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nat Family Racing. As you can see, we've got the new car in the shop. The other car is ready to go on a trailer, so it's out back until next weekend. But my parents have just headed off to get to the airport, go back to California. It was really great having them here. I talked to them on FaceTime, and me and my dad played golf on Xbox together quite frequently, so it feels like I'm never too far away, really, but it feels like it's been forever since I've been in the same room with them and just been able to kind of like have that time together. So it was really nice because I do miss them a lot, and so I'm glad that they were able to come out, and I'm glad that they're going to be moving out here. So that'll be nice for me. It'll be nice for my boy to grow up with his grandparents close. So yeah, but now we're back to kind of a normal household setting where it's just me, my woman, the dogs, and the baby. So we'll try to get back into a little rhythm here, and that rhythm is going to include working on race cars. That one. We're going to be a race car factory in here. We're just going to keep rotating them around until they're perfect. So today, though, I've already kind of dug into this one a little bit, just mostly out of curiosity. Wanted to see how everything worked. We're going to have to do an oil change, for sure. I pulled the dipstick, and the oil doesn't look great. I checked the fuel cell. There's no drain plug on the bottom of the fuel cell, so that's a bummer. So we're gonna have to suck the old fuel out of the top. Looks like it's maybe about half full, which will be fine. I'll suck it out and into one of my 5-gallon jugs so I can see what half a tank is, so I can figure out what size fuel cell is in it. Other than that, I'm getting kind of sick of looking at this thing the way that it is. So we're going to start pulling stuff off of it. Probably mostly just the roof section of it we're going to pull off. And start getting the deck popped out, sanded down, painted at a minimum. So that's what we're going to have going on today. And I'm glad you guys are going to be here with me. So I got to go find my drill and start popping rivets. So let's do that. So I got this free. Got that loose. Got one of these out. This is going to be a learning experience, I'm sure of it. Also, before I get too much further, we've got no e-brake on it, and I don't exactly trust the brakes that are in it. I mean, they stopped me before I rolled through the shop, but something just feels a little off about them. So for the time being, we'll chalk it, even though it's in gear. That'll be done different. Just giant flat washers holding this thing down. I'll at least be able to get it off of there. Hopefully. I was going to start with this panel because it looked like it was going to be the easiest one to come off, but I don't know how it comes off. holding this body on is the exploding rivets. I guess that makes sense. Easy. I tell myself every time, we're not gonna do body work in flip flops. Every time I walk out here in flip flops, I'm sorry. A little bit of aluminum shavings in the foot's good for building character or something. And there's like 5 different, you guys can't really see my head. There's like 5 different rivet sizes through here. So it's not at the top of the board, but it's pretty high on the to fix list. Just to get everything kind of a little bit more uniform. That rivet was in there sideways. These riveted into the cage. No. They're screaming and smoking. Easy. Quarter-inch. Alright. For the remainder of this part, I'm just going to put you guys on time lapse. Alright, and there we are, ready for the Topless 100. But, you know, the only thing better than making bolts two different sizes is when you have one size on one side that's metric, and the other side is a larger standard bolt. That is clever craftsmanship. we got that one off. Yeah, as you guys can see, everything that's sticking up out of the car right now, from the deck up, needs to be chopped off and raised about a foot, because my head sits about right here. Obviously problematic if this thing decides it's done being right side up. And this is the bottom basket from a grocery cart. Cool, it's custom. Alright, I think what we're gonna do is pivot. Change the direction that we are currently heading for a new plan. Flaky paint is sharp. That joker's just spinning in there. Ow. Took a little bit, but it registered that was still hot. Yeah, I know, you're still hot. But I'd like you to get out of it. This is why I don't use exploding rivets. I'm sure that they have their place in the world, and I'm sure that there's people who swear by it. They have no place in mine, because they are always a nightmare. And it rockets off the little exploded part right onto my foot every time. I'm sure there's a better way to de-rivet your drill bit, but I don't know one. So if you guys have some secret trick, drop it in the comments. Okay, all that's saying is golly, Miss Molly. That joker just want to sit there and spin. It's going to be a countersunk rivet when it goes back in. Four more, hopefully. Five total, one more. There she blows. You gotta do something. That is just shearing hot metal on the batteries. Thank you. This one right here is cooperating negative amounts. And I don't know how I'm going to get that one out because I didn't even worry about it a minute. It's pretty rough, not gonna lie to you guys. This one's gonna spin. Told you. Hot. I'll have to get a pair of side cutters for that one. This is how you should do this. I don't know. This is how I am doing it. Yes. be illegal. I have my steps out. There we go. So there's a rivet down here that they left the tail on and just like bent it over with a hammer. I don't know what the reasoning with that would be. So if anybody else does, let me know. Yeah, it's a little difficult to hit that thing in the center. Had to be real careful with that one because if it slips, we were gonna throw right into the radiator/radiator hose. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Gonna be a problem. Okay. With that being that, we're going to move on to phase 2 of the plan. Who rolled this up last? Had to have been me. Was I in a hurry? Holy smokes. Good thing I have to get that. I need to edit all this out. Good enough for who it's for. Didn't even check, so I'm glad that thing wasn't on. Take off somewhere. It's about time for a new one of these. this for you guys. But the paint is very flaky. So really all I need to do is get it kind of laid down and smoothed out. I don't necessarily have to get it off, but I've got to take the sharp flake out of it so when we lay new paint over, it's not having paint pull up underneath it and lifting our good paint. So, using a little 80 grit. The vibration's actually working really well, but I'll give it to you guys when this portion is at least done, and we'll see how it turned out. The trouble we're running into is every time we get a layer nice and smooth, it opens up another color. Yeah, so all this got nice and smooth, and then we hit that green underneath the orange. So I'm gonna have to go back over that, and then I'm gonna have to take a grinder and grind these booger welds off so I can pull this all the way off to get down in here. So we've got a little bit of work. It's just gonna require patience, I guess, which I've been really practicing having a newborn. So I'll get with you when I get this done. This is the first coat down, and I'd say it looks about 2/10 faster. It still has a little scaly texture to it because I didn't really put the fire to it and get all the flakes out. They're just smooth, so they hopefully won't keep peeling. And I'm hoping with a second, third coat, it'll kind of fill that in a little bit. Even if it doesn't, we're not out here trying to win a car show, or you're trying to win a race. So that'll just be what it is. And kind of stepping back, we have a lot of real estate to cover. So it's gonna be a project, but that's why we got it for next season, not this season. So we should definitely be ready by then. We also have to replace our kill switch because the thumb broke off it. But that's the wife calling, so we gotta go make sure she's okay. All right. So I'm back. Everything was fine. She just was calling to see what I was doing. She didn't know I was recording. But here's what we got going on. I was taking their number off, and when I did that, I noticed that they did not pull the door, like the anti-scratch plastic, off of the sheet metal. So I've been pulling it off an inch at a time, and now I have this much off. This much of it fell off the door already, except up at the top where it is just absolutely baked on, and I don't know if it's even going to be possible to get this stuff off. Well, it's starting to come up a little bit, but golly, this is going to be time consuming because I'm not going to paint over the top of the plastic. So if any of you out there have any advice on something that helps loosen this stuff up off the top and makes it so it'll either pull off or wipe off without damaging kind of the gloss of the door, go ahead and shoot it my way. I'd greatly appreciate it. Because if not, this is going to be about, I don't know, 56 man hours of me peeling plastic. And there's truly probably 65,000 things that I'd rather be doing than this. But it has to be done kind of just one way or another. Maybe I'll pay like 6 high school kids $10 a day to just come peel this. You guys can listen to your music, play on your phones with one hand, but just make sure you're peeling with the other. Oh my goodness. I understand the concept of what they were trying there, but they did an interesting job of executing. Yeah, so this is probably where I'm going to end the video, because there's no sense in you guys having to endure this time-consuming task with me. And if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would venture to say that it's going to be on the door and the quarter panel, most likely on both sides. So I'm going to get as far as I can stomach of doing this today, and then I'm going to throw my hands up and go inside. So this has been a light tour and workday video for the new car. We gotta find a name for it. The other one's the Money Eater. So you guys can help me figure out some names for this thing. And yeah, pretty much we'll just see you guys in the next one. So once I get all this plastic off, we'll get to work on something else. But until then, we'll see you next time.